the moment has finally come. After so many years of wanting it to happen, Dragon Ball Legends is finally going to cross over with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, again, I've been saying this, I believe ever since we got the first crossover collab in Legends, which I believe it was either Fighters or Kakarot, one of those two, but it doesn't change the fact that I've wanted this to happen for so long now, and it's finally here. Now, we do know that 2 characters from Xenoverse 2 are coming to Dragon Ball Legends. We have a supporter with Supreme Kai of Time, which I'm gonna put it out there. Again, I know we don't care about supporters, and I understand that, but in this particular instance, I'm fine with Supreme Kai of Time being a supporter because she's in the game. You know what I mean? And then the other character is a sparking unit. It's gonna be sparking Xeno Trunks or Time Patroller Trunks. Same thing, just different title. But I don't think that's the most important thing when it comes down to this collaboration. Now, the reason why this is so big is because Dragon Ball Legends it's crossed over with a few games. Again, it's crossed over with Fighters and it's crossed over with Kakarot. But, well, and I guess in technicality, like in terms of Legends crossing into other games, it's crossed over into Sparking Zero, it's crossed over into Heroes, and it's crossed over into the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World, like the video game. I believe the actual card game too as well. But it's been years since we've had other Dragon Ball games crossing into Legends. But the last one being, I'm pretty sure it was Kakarot. So now knowing that Xenoverse 2 is going to be that 3rd game to cross into Legends has me very excited, especially with the character that we're going to be getting beyond just Supreme Kai of Time and Time Patroller Trunks. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 2 characters that it could be. Now, they already gave us a semblance of a hint, one that's kind of straightforward, but also just because of like what's been happening with the other games as well. So when we got the trailer yesterday at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, we saw that they're saying there's more characters to be revealed, and I believe they're going to be showing them off on the 28th, on the 28th, I believe. But the background was like a pinkish color, right? And again, this is crossing over from Xenoverse 2. Now, in relation to what the other 2 mobile games are getting, which obviously are Dokkan Battle and Genshin Squadra, there's one character that we can kind of just check off the list, because if it's not him by default, something is seriously wrong. And that character would be Ultra Supervillain Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Now, it makes the most sense because that is like the character that is being promoted in both Dokkan and in Genshin Squadra. In Dokkan, they're getting a completely new unit where I believe he starts off in Ultra Supervillain Super Saiyan God, and then he breaks past the Ultra Supervillain and goes straight to Super Saiyan God and is able to transform past that into Super Saiyan Blue. And in Genshin Squadra, it's just gonna be an outfit for Super Saiyan God Vegeta, which, side note, I'm never taking that outfit off of it, by the way. Just it's staying on. But with Dragon Ball Legends, it makes sense to have that character in the game, seeing that the other 2 games are getting that character as the Ultra Super Villain, right? And plus, I mean, making the character wouldn't be difficult because of the fact that the model for Super Saiyan God Vegeta already exists in Dragon Ball Legends. So they really just have to, like, you know, add the like crystal onto his shoulder, just change his hair color a little bit, give him like menacing pink aura, if you will, and then go from there, right? If they want to make him transforming, where he goes from Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan God and then breaks out of the Ultra Super Villain power to just Super Saiyan God, I'm fine with that too, right? But if it really is just Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan God Vegeta, I'm hyped for that. I'm super hyped for that, because that moment in Xenoverse 2 was absolutely insane. So I do believe that, since they said characters, if we were to get an Ultra Super Villain, he would definitely be the first choice, just because the other 2 games got him, right? But what if it's more than one? Because it's not impossible, right? If it's more than one, then there's only 2 other characters that I could see getting like that extra spot. And it would be either Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, because when he released, he also released alongside Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan God Vegeta. They both were a part of Chapter 1, right? And plus, it makes a lot more sense with Rose as well, only because if you were to put them on a team, I don't know if they're gonna be like under like their own tag, the Future Saga, or if they're gonna have like episode Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 or whatever the case may be. But it makes sense to have Rose paired up with Super Saiyan God Vegeta because of the fact that one, they're both Saiyans, and two, they're both God Ki. So using them outside of that specific episode, there's wiggle room there because of the fact that at the very least you can use them on Saiyan, right? Or you can use them on God Ki. Whichever one that they truly decide to boost, you could use them together, right? So that makes the most sense. But if it's not like, for whatever reason, if it's not like Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, which would still be shocking because he was clean, there's only one other character. And I think that if it's not Rose after like Super Saiyan God Vegeta, this character wins by a landslide. The only other character I could think of would be Ultra Supervillain Golden Frieza. Because to this day, Ultra Supervillain Golden Frieza is the uttermost devastating threat that the Time Patrol in the Xenoverse series has ever faced, hands down. I've gone on record and said on Twitter that Chapter 3 is the best story portion of Xenoverse 2 of all time. Hands down, story was incredible. Like what they did with Golden Frieza. Like if y'all thought Golden Frieza was a threat, just like, you know, from the original anime, crank that up to an entirely different level in Chapter 3 of Xenoverse 2. Like Golden Frieza, pure menace. For those of you guys who don't know, and I guess spoilers if you haven't played Chapter 3, which if you haven't, you definitely should. Golden Frieza obtains time powers and becomes a god. So because of that, he becomes an absolute threat to time itself. Like that's how powerful Frieza became. He I believe he stripped, no, he didn't strip Supreme God Time's powers, but he wished, like forced Shenron to grant his wish and gave him the powers of a time god, right? And used it to just absolutely run amok, right? We got lucky when we beat him, but it made him an unfathomable, like just practically unstoppable force. That's how cracked Golden Frieza became, right? So to have the biggest threat in Xenoverse history as like that second character to cross over into Dragon Ball Legends would be insane. Imagine all of the moves Golden Frieza would use with his time powers. It would be insane. Like that would be such a cool character. Now, of course, again, Chapter 4 hasn't released yet, right? And we're having this crossover because of the fact that Chapter 4 is going to be the final Xenoverse 2 DLC. Point blank. Like after Chapter 4, Xenoverse 2 is done. So maybe we can have a crazier villain that comes afterwards, or maybe like with what's happening with Goku from the trailer that we saw, maybe that could cross over into the Legends one day. Who knows? But I do believe that Golden Frieza would be like that second option, because the other two, because there's 4 Ultra Super Villains. Let's see, it's oh wait, well I said other two. The other one would have been Jiren, because he was the Ultra Super Villain for Chapter 2, and I don't really see that fitting anywhere, honestly. So that's just my thoughts on it. Like I do expect Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan God Vegeta to be like the main one. But if we are to get one more, then the only two options I could see would be Rose, because of the fact that he fits Saiyan and God Ki, and he also released alongside Vegeta. They were both part of Chapter 1. Or Ultra Super Villain Golden Frieza, because he's the latest one and he's the biggest threat in Xenoverse history. So to have that like character cross over into Legends would be insane. And also, I don't know if, like, would they technically get powerful opponent? Because they are literally antagonists. They're not the main antagonists, but they're pretty big threats. So I don't know if they'll get powerful opponent. They might, who knows? But that's my overall thoughts on it. Either way though, like regardless of who we get as our Ultra Super Villain, I'm perfectly content, because like I said before, I've wanted Xenoverse 2 to cross over into Legends for many years now. Far too many years. So to have that happen has me excited. And for all we know, right, Dragon Ball Legends is still going strong. This year will mark the 8th year that this game has been, like, you know, going on for, right? And the fact that Shallot has crossed over into a different Dragon Ball game one that is available worldwide that we can all use as an actual playable character, gives me hope for maybe one day, who knows, during the 9th anniversary or the 10th anniversary, we could get Shallot in Xenoverse 3. Who knows, right? Because again, Shallot not being in Xenoverse 2 is kind of crazy, only because the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World, like the video game, has a Xenoverse model of Shallot. It exists, but he's not in Xenoverse 2. But Xenoverse 3 is right around the corner. So again, if Shallot's not going to be in Chapter 4, he's never going to be in Xenoverse 2. So maybe they can save that opportunity for Xenoverse 3. And then we can see Shallot in there, and maybe he'll have his transformations, or at least one of them, right? Or something of the sort. Who knows what they'll do at that point. But all I know is, it gives me hope for the future. That's what I can't wait to see. But those are my overall thoughts about all this. We are getting Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 characters in Dragon Ball Legends, I believe on the 28th of this month. But I do want to know in the comment section below, who do you think our Ultra Supervillain characters will be? Again, let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm Ndukauba. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.